Adam Taxin here with Anastasia Przybylski, who heads up the Kitchen Table Patriots. That's at kitchentablepatriots.org. And she's also the Pennsylvania State Director for FreedomWorks. And the reason I am talking to her in particular is because she is based at what I will call ground zero of RINOstan, which is suburban Philadelphia, both the Pennsylvania and New Jersey sides. There are, I guess, 20 Republicans in Congress in the House who are ready to cave on Obamacare and the government shutdown. And for some reason, well, I mean, it's not that coincidental, a disproportionate number of them are in southeast Pennsylvania, other parts of Pennsylvania, and New Jersey. Anastasia, thanks for being with me. Why don't you give the people listening, which is a pretty national audience, the lay of the land?
Well, here in the Southeast, we tend to have elect moderate Republicans, and that is traditionally what we've done. However, this last round in 2010, it was really the conservative base that was able to get a lot of seats that were held by Democrats over into the Republican column, with the idea that they promised to run and defund Obamacare. So this is the issue for fiscal conservatives in this country, and I think that's why you're seeing such an uprising. And I also think there's a false narrative that it's the moderates that get Republicans elected. If you really look at the base of the Republican Party, you will see that the people are very fiscally conservative. They're not moderate.
Right. And the people who are getting out the vote, who are bringing the energy, tend to be the Tea Partiers. It seems like moderate Republicans just don't have a lot of energy to them. Now, you're in Mike Fitzpatrick's district. Can you tell us a little bit about him and what he has done? I know he's sort of backtracked, I heard.
Yes, he's backtracked, and I would not close the door on him. I do think that he will stand with the people who got him elected. I think that I would say this of most Republicans, but especially the Southeast ones, they look way too much at the polling data. They worry too much about the media. We know that the media is not our friend. We know that they will always blame Republicans. And the people that are going to come after these guys are never going to vote for them anyway. They've never had those people. So they really cannot alienate the base. That is how they would lose. So I'm not willing to believe just yet that Mike Fitzpatrick is not going to stick with Boehner and the rest of the Republicans. The idea that I saw in his press release today, 6 months, is a very bad idea. It leaves us open to all sorts of things that Obama can do. Because this is a year-long process that we're talking about. And so I think I need to make that point. We cannot allow the Republicans to do 6 months. That would be worse than doing anything. I mean, that would cause Obama to have free reign.
Can you tell us the status of the other relatively local people who have been also included in that group? I'm talking about Congressman Pat Meehan, Congressman Jim Gerlach, both in Pennsylvania, Congressman Charlie Dent, also in southeast Pennsylvania, and Lou Barletta, and also John Runyon across the river in South Jersey.
Well, listen, I mean, a lot of these guys all came in together, and what they have to realize, it's not the moderates that got them elected. They need to be reminded of that, number one. Secondly, sure, if they form this coalition, I guess the idea is that they'll have some kind of negotiating power. It's a bad idea. People need to stick together. It's like what Benjamin Franklin said, hang together or surely we'll all be hanged. And that's the truth. And I also think that these guys are just our state, and so same with New Jersey. The Republican establishment tends to be very, very, I mean, Pennsylvania went for Arlen Specter over Pat Toomey. Let's not forget what Pennsylvania is. Mm-hmm. That was not because of the people. The people wanted Pat Toomey. It was the leadership within the Republican machine that made those kinds of decisions.
A lot of careerists, it seems like.
Yes, absolutely. There is a lot of patronage within the Republican machine itself, and they're not listening to the people. They want to protect that mechanism versus what got these people elected. And the bottom line is, what these guys have to really think about is, what about the people that are suffering right now? I am getting emails from across Pennsylvania and New Jersey about getting notices sent home that stay-at-home moms are now going to be dropped from their husband's insurance and their family. So their kids and their spouse are not going to be covered under the insurance. What about the people who had their hours cut? I mean, what are we going to be? We're going to be the America of part-time work?
It seems that way.
Absolutely. Is that so we're just going to be mediocre? Is that what Obama wants? And also, I've talked to business owners who would love to expand. And, I would love for their message to get out, because this is the narrative that's not being played right now. What about the businesses that cannot grow because of these burdensome regulations and what's going to be in the Obamacare legislation, and what they're going to do to employers who are the engine of this country? The small businesses are the backbone of what keeps our country going and our economy swelling. And I say do nothing, because people are waking up. The media is doing everything they can to make this shutdown, which is a partial shutdown, to seem worse than it is. And the national parks, you saw what happened with World War II vets. This news is getting out there. And just like they did with the sequester a few months ago, people realized that a lot of that was hype. And I think that's what we're seeing now, and people are not falling for it anymore. The media has lost some clout. And I say, as time goes on, people are going to say, oh, it's really not that bad.
Right. Anastasia, finally, if someone's listening to this and they're really fired up, but they don't know what they can do to help besides, I guess, call the numbers of the congressmen who are being a little wobbly on this, what can people do?
Well, I'm going to preach this. This is like I say this everywhere I go. People need, on our side, in the conservative movement, they need to get savvy with the social media. You need to get the news out yourself. It's not just about calling. We need to get up with the times. If you're on Facebook and you see one of your liberal friends post something, you can go on their thread and say, hey, this is not true, and link them to something else. This is the way a lot of the news is getting out there through the social media. So the conservatives need to wake up. They need to learn how to tweet. They need to have a Facebook account. And then, of course, contact their congressman. You go onto the FreedomWorks website, go onto the Kitchen Table Patriots website, and I think there's a lot that you can do. And also for them not to lose hope.
Right. And
I
might add they should go on Facebook.com, The Daily Beck, and also Radio Free America, which I'm getting going now on Facebook also. Anastasia, thank you for your time, and I'm sure as this continues, I'll be talking to you some more to help get people fired up. This is definitely an alternative to the mainstream media, but hey, all we have here is an iPhone and an iPod, and we're getting the message out, and I encourage others to do the same. Anastasia, thanks for your time.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you. Have a great night.